Battlefield 2042 Season 2 Master at Arms is coming on August the 30th, and gritting my teeth and saying, EA? Now, why am I saying that? Well, we're going to get into it. Some of it looks really cool, looks really fun, looks really exciting, and some of it is like, we're still doing this? Really? Come on. So anyway, without further ado, remember, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like as always. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want more like it, be sure to hit that big red sexy subscribe button right underneath the video. Also, got to thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. If you want to join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get, be sure to check out that join button. Anyway, let's begin. First things first, the map. Now, does the map look fun? Does it look tight, close quarters, and infantry focused, and exactly what and most players have been wanting from this game since launch? Yes, it looks cool. And in the trailer, they offered some more stuff about the storyline that I don't care about at this point, but it made for a cool trailer. It looks fun. That's not the issue. The map might be the best map I've ever played. The issue is, it's Season 2, and we're getting one map. One new map. I know they're reworking a couple other of the launch maps. That's cool. Glad they're reworking Orbital. Glad they're reworking Renewal. That's awesome. I've already played those maps. I want new content. That's what I want. So, I mean, you can consider each remake a half map. So, I guess you could say, oh, technically 2 new maps. It doesn't really matter, though. It's underwhelming. If they had actually taken the time to release a good game and people had fun and enjoyed it from the very beginning, they might have kept some players and had a little bit more support, and we could have maybe ended up with a better live service because the game would have been supported. But unfortunately, you dropped the ball before anything even got rolling, and that's why we only have one map now. I do want to say just a quick story. As soon as I watched this trailer and I saw, I was like, oh, this looks cool. I was in the car with my wife, and it ended up turning into me ranting on the way to Target about the downfall of the Battlefield franchise, so that's where my headspace is. Anyway, next thing, something I'm actually pleasantly surprised about, and that actually has to do with the weapons. You might be like, well, Jaws, we're only getting 2 primaries and a secondary and a couple of weapons from Portal. That's fine. I too was underwhelmed initially by just learning that, but seeing as Temporal has gone in and data mined some other weapons, and we actually get an image of these weapons that are in line with some of his data mines, we can see not only are we getting the AM40 assault rifle, that new LMG that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, and the PF51 sidearm, which is like a dope SMG sidearm that I'm very excited to try out. We're also getting the AEK from Battlefield 4. We're getting the AUG from like every modern set game ever. The SKS, Battlefield 4, I'm just saying. I don't know if this means we're getting Battlefield 4 content. I don't know if that's what this means, but this could be like a nod to those games. And I'm going to get into the next two because M2 carbine, whatever, who cares? Somebody fight me in the comments as to how to pronounce it. Help me out in the algorithm. That from Battlefield 5, does that mean we're getting Battlefield 5 content? I don't know. Likely they'll tack any BF5 or BF1 content. Speaking of BF1, M95 bolt action. That was in BF5 and BF1, so I'm not really sure which one that's hinting at, but the M2 definitely leans to BF1. The other weapons definitely lean into more of Battlefield 4. Does that mean that they're adding like the full factions of those games into this game and, maps and whatnot? I don't know. They could just be tacking them onto the existing factions in game. So things like the M95 and the M2, sure, they'll become available on All Out Warfare, but does that mean that they'll just simply tag them onto Battlefield 1942 factions and the BF4 opens on the BF3 factions? I would imagine that's the case. I just can't see them doing anything that insane with the live service at this point, considering we're only getting one map a season. That being said, that many weapons on top of the ones that we already knew were coming to the game is really, really freaking cool. And that is a lot more weapons than I honestly expected, especially since a decent amount of them are new. So I am pretty darn excited about that. Now, on to my favorite subject of this new update. That is the Specialist. I know everyone loves Specialists. They're just the best part of Battlefield and definitely don't ruin the core gameplay. Yes, I know they're cramming them into classes, and honestly, my opinion on that subject deserves its own whole video. The new Specialist is basically another reason as to why Specialists don't work. This whole thing of, I don't really care about the cringe voice lines. I care about the way they affect gameplay, and having all these weird gadgets that are either extremely mundane or extremely overpowered just is not fun to me. Where they really messed up is with tying the gadgets to them, and we see that again here. He can refill gadget ammo, that's fine. Angel can basically already do that too, but he also has this turret that he can place and manually use. Again, it might not be overpowered, it might not be underpowered, it could be balanced just perfectly, but it's just such a weird thing. Definitely feels like what Boris should have been, but instead of fixing Boris, they just nerfed him into the ground and then put this guy in the game because they ran out of ideas for new specialists. I mean, let's be honest, by the time we saw Dozier with a riot shield, we should have known they were scraping the bottom of the barrel for ideas as far as specialist goes, because the riot shield specialists, be real guys, how many times did you use the riot shield in a Battlefield game? When Battlefield 1 came out, or Battlefield 5 came out, was anyone like, hey, I need a riot shield in this game? No. And I know that's a much more modern thing, but it's just, we don't need all that. Part of the sandbox is creating this class setup that is unique to yourself, and being a faceless soldier that you're putting yourself in the boots of that soldier. It's like this Skyrim-esque RPG type of element, the Battlefield, and that's why people like that aspect. And while, you know, the characters are whatever, you know, things like the legendary skins from Battlefield 5, I think that was far better implemented than the way that the specialists are in this game, because you didn't have anything that was tied to them that affected gameplay in a serious manner. And I would prefer, if they want to keep going this route where you have these unique storied characters, they go back to that type of thing. The specialist thing just, it doesn't work. I do not care about any of them. Takes away some of that Battlefield feel, and the rest of my opinion on that deserves its own video. So anyway, editor Jaws interjecting here for a second. I just also wanted to quickly talk about the new vehicles that are coming. The Jeep thing is whatever, that's what the transport should have been from the beginning. The new infantry tank looking thing, it looks cool. I like that it has this unique purpose that it can go behind, and it can actually deploy spawn beacons. So you can infiltrate behind enemy lines, deploy a spawn beacon, and get out of there and keep distracting another team while your teammates can spawn from a unique location. This could be very, very cool when it comes to game modes like Breakthrough or Rush or something like that. What I'm not a fan of is that dice, if by some miracle you're watching this, stop putting high splash damage cannons that are easy to use on everything in this game. Jesus Christ, pretty soon we're gonna get a 30mm cannon that's just infantry used. Like, we're just gonna be able to carry one right in about. Everyone gets to two-shot each other in 2 seconds, because everyone gets a high splash damage weapon. You don't need to invest any amount of skill into actually being able to play this game at all, because it's just super easy to do anything. Just stop putting these annoying high splash damage weapons in the game. It doesn't need it. I feel like if you had just given it some heavy machine gun or something like that, that is, you know, you have to aim with it actually a little bit, that would have been so much better. Other than that, I like the ability it has. I think it offers something unique to the vehicle class. I'm just tired of these high splash damage weapons. Again, we'll have to see how it's balanced, because they said helicopters and tanks can take it out, but on an infantry focused map like this, where I can already see someone just plowing inside of the ship with it and just annihilating one team with one vehicle, because it can also have this APS thing or AMP, whatever it is, that it's, please stop putting cannons on everything, for the love of God. If you did that, this game would play 100 times better just with that one single change. Stop with the high splash weapons. Just stop. Anyway, again, in some way, I am gritting my teeth and saying, EA, because this could be a really fun DLC that just has some Battlefield 2042 isms to it, that it's like, this is as good as it's gonna get, guys. enjoy it for what it is. And that's really the mentality I'm going into it with. I'm not going to do a trailer breakdown because all the other important YouTubers have done that already. So I'm just going over this. Anyway, let me know down below what you guys think of Battlefield 2042 Season 2 Master at Arms. That's a lot of twos and a lot of words. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.